Yo, what's up, guys? Everyone, today, man, coming guys with more NBA breaking news. Now, today we have the biggest domino to fall from NBA free agency, and it is Paul George, who has officially switched teams once again, and he is now headed to the Philadelphia 76ers. A 3:30 a.m. Woj bomb. I was literally right here in my bed, laying down, ready to fall asleep. I checked my notifications. I see Twitter. I see PG-13 has teamed up to have one of the best big threes in all of basketball now, with himself, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, who just signed a deal as well for like $40 million AAV. So shout out to Tyrese Maxey. Shout out to Paul George. There's no more excuses, Philadelphia. There's no more excuses, Joel Embiid. There's no more excuses, 76ers. You guys have one of the best big threes, in my opinion, in all of basketball, to be quite frank. Yes, outside of that, there's a lot of holes to fill out, but you get Paul George. He's 34 years old. You're paying him until he's 38 years old. You get a 4-year deal for $212 million, which is around upwards of 50 plus million dollars, which is a good amount of money. I believe, if I checked it correctly, it was like $53 million AAV, which again is a lot for Paul George, but he's a guy that came up season where he averaged average of 20 plus points per game, shot 40%, shot like 41% from three. I believe he shot like 47% from the field, so he's still a very efficient player. Paul George is going to be, in my opinion, number 3 option on this Philadelphia 76ers team, behind Joel Embiid, behind Tyrese Maxey. And this is very, very scary because I made a tweet and I was like, I understand why the Clippers don't go out and just give Paul George the 5-year max with the max years on it, because he's 34 years old. In my opinion, currently, I like Paul George as a number 3 option on a championship level team instead of being a number 2. I think he'd be like a low end 2, but like possibly the best number 3 option all of basketball right now currently. It didn't take so much pressure off of Joel Embiid and off of Tyrese Maxey. And you might think, where's the playmaking? Because Tyrese Maxey isn't really known to be this great playmaker. Paul George is a very underrated playmaker. Paul George is a pretty good rebounder. Paul George, he just has a game that is going to fit well. I mean, he can get to the mid-range and get to the rim. He's a really good three-point shooter. He's a really good defender. We just banking on him just continuing to be as good as he is currently into his late 30s, which Paul George's game is just really fixated on just being like, it's really just like an aesthetically pleasing game. He dribbles really well for a guard. This is an all-around really good player. Again, you're going to take some pressure off of him as well come playoffs, because you're not expecting him to be a top 2 guy. And I point to the Clippers, since Kawhi was out, he was tasked to be the number 1 guy. And Paul George in this day and age isn't the number 1 guy that he was in, obviously in Indiana. And even he had the MVP year in OKC with Russell Westbrook as well. He's just wouldn't be expecting that of him. But Paul George, on any given day, can drop 30 points a game. You just got him paired up with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. You now have 3 all-NBA caliber guys. Again, the rest of the roster is definitely a lot to be decided. They re-signed Kelly Oubre Jr. last night for like $8 million AAV. So their starting 5 currently would be Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre Jr., Paul George, question mark at the 4, Tobias Harris left. He's on a bag with the Pistons. And center will be Joel Embiid. So they don't really have a power forward currently. The 6th man off the bench will be Jared McCain. I literally keep seeing his TikToks every day. Shout out to Jared McCain. A lot of people don't like him because him off the court, he paints his nails and things like that. But I'm honestly a fan of Jared McCain. To each their own. Let him do his thing. He's a hooper. He's just a really, really easy guy to root for, in my opinion, at least, if you're not a hater. Let's just say that. A hater, but that's besides the point. You're really trying to think now who's the power forward for this team. They did this also did just yesterday just go ahead and re-sign Andre Drummond. Not re-sign him, but they brought him back. He was a Sixer a couple years back, and they went ahead and brought him back. I believe he was in that deal for James Harden, where they went ahead and acquired him and flipped him with the Brooklyn Nets. So now they have a backup center behind Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond. People forget they do also have Paul Reed still, even though they literally I don't feel love Paul Reed. I feel like they might move him, even though the Jazz and Danny Ainge literally baited them and they fell for the bait. The Jazz offered Paul Reed a poison pill contract for a couple of seasons, with the last year being an abundance of money, and they still went ahead and matched that. and they also just drafted a Dembona from UCLA in the second round as well. They have a good amount of bigs. I don't really know what's going to happen with the rest of the roster. You can see some veteran minimum guys. I mean, this big three is that good where I see guys would willingly want to go ahead and take less to join this team. I also forgot to mention they did also sign Eric Gordon. So off the bench, you have Jared McCann, you have Eric Gordon, you have Ricky Council, and you're just banking on these rookies and these other guys as well to any of these other veteran minimum guys as well. But in my opinion, the biggest question mark is power forward. There were rumors and rumblings about the man Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I didn't really see how that would work, to be quite frank, unless you were going to move PG to the 4, KCP at the 2. I don't know how that will work, to be quite frank. But in my opinion, this is a really phenomenal move. The first thing I did was text one of my boys that I know from high school, is a big Sixers fan. I was like, yo, y'all got no excuses. He said the process is complete with a ring. Like, y'all haven't even touched the conference finals in how long, talking about a ring, knowing how good the Celtics are, knowing how good the Knicks are. Like, let's be fucking for real. Let's just be fucking for real, okay? This is a really good starting, really good trio. But again, I don't want to compare them to the Suns, because the Suns were way too talented to get swept by the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are a really good team, but still, that Suns team, they're not like really good, but that three in particular, fucking Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, like, that team cannot get swept. Mind you, my Miami Heat were without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier. We took one game from the best team in basketball, the Boston Celtics, on the road. You couldn't take a game from the Timberwolves? Not even at home? That's sad. That's sad. But again, who is going to fill out this roster? You don't want to have a Suns part 2 where you're just so top heavy and you're so relying and leaning on these guys where the rest of the roster is lackluster. So Sixers, I like some of the guys on the bench right now currently. But yeah. Also, before I get off, I also want to show this picture right here of Joel Embiid. Not of Joel Embiid, but actually, yes, a video of Joel Embiid. Then I want to show a video of Paul George as well. So this is Joel Embiid. I tweeted this out last night right before I fell asleep. This is Joel Embiid and and Paul George. They were sitting together on the NBA Countdown right before the game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Celtics and the Mavericks. And you can see Joel Embiid talking about making moves in the offseason. You can also see him kind of like side-eye Paul George. Now, he's not going to directly say, he's not going to directly like point and do like a pops to Paul George, but he's going to be like, just on some slight shit. Like, obviously he wants Paul George, and now he officially has Paul George, ladies and gentlemen. This offseason, get better. As he side-eye Paul George. As some piece, y'all can see people laughing. Y'all can see them laughing. Paul George. Paul George is literally on his left. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Paul George played it cool. He didn't say anything. And to officially end it off, we have, yeah. This is Paul George wearing the Allen Iverson shirt yesterday during his free agent meeting with the 76ers. Yeah, Paul George was literally the most obvious 2001 NBA MVP, Allen Iverson. Yeah, it was the answer. It was the most obvious thing. I said yesterday that I wouldn't have minded to see Paul George end up on the Clippers. We said DeLon Wright signing a 1-year, $3.3 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. So Miami Heat just continue. Heat legend DeLon Wright. Oh my God, why would you go to the ops? Well, I swear, Bucks were literally talking about. They were literally sad they didn't get DeLon Wright last year. But what's it called? Because he ended up like the Wizards ended up was it waiving him or something? Or buying him out. He signed with the Heat, but apparently they were interested from the Bucks, but he wanted to join us because we were going to give him minutes. He actually provided a pretty good 3-and-D role with us, but unfortunately he's going to the Bucks. We got Josh Richardson back. We're not going to make any moves. Already re-signed Kevin Love, and all the other East teams are getting better. Whatever, I digress. Paul George is officially at 76, so you absolutely love to see that. Like I said, I would have loved to see him on the Warriors, but The Clippers declined to deal with like Moody, Chris Paul, Wiggins, and Kuminga too, which is pretty shocking, but whatever. Paul George is officially a Sixers. Sixers fans rejoice. You guys now have a big three. Now fill the rest of that roster, especially power forward. And I think y'all probably have a really good chance in the Eastern Conference. I don't know if y'all get past the Celtics, but y'all might be the second best team in the East. I mean, the Bucks are still there, the Knicks are still there. We'll see though. On paper though, I like that big three. Get a power forward, and we'll see what's gonna happen. But yeah, other than that, yo, that is the video. Go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, please follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. Your boy John. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.